First, new details in a case that your reporters have been following closely. Closing arguments will be delivered Friday in the trial of the man who killed 10 people inside a Boulder King Soopers 3 years ago. Your reporter in Boulder, Alan Janae, has been following this trial. And Alan, the question that jurors will have to answer is whether or not the gunman was sane at the time of that shooting.
And that's what it's all about, Michael. As expected, the latter portions of this trial have been less about the horrific violence that occurred more than 3 years ago now here in Boulder, and more about what experts found when they studied the now diagnosed mental illness of gunman Ahmad Alissa. But mental illness alone is not reason enough for a finding of not guilty by reason of insanity. Standing as the judge came in, Ahmad Alissa sat to hear the final day of testimony, including from his younger brother Mahmoud, during which the camera was kept off.
After 2019, he was different before 2019.
When Ahmad's mental health declined, Ahmad, he said, bought an assault rifle before the March 2021 shooting, which didn't raise concern with his brother, who thought it was a hobby.
Because there was no indication for violence.
None at all.
None at all.
A defense-hired psychologist who met with Alissa 7 times after the shooting found him to be showing signs of schizophrenia. He asked Alissa about yelling voices he had heard.
What are the voices yelling about? And the response I got was, just yell.
There was paranoia along with it.
So it was pretty apparent that he was paranoid about the FBI. I think there was stuff about chips in his head, bugs in his head, a chip in a key fob.
But a prosecution psychologist noted that Colorado law for a finding of not guilty by reason of insanity means a mental disability would have to interfere with the defendant's ability to determine right from wrong.
It's my opinion, to a reasonable degree of medical certainty, that the defendant was able to distinguish right from wrong at that time.
Dr. Ian Lamoureux reviewed records and hours of video from the shooting and interviews with Alissa, whom he said appeared to understand what he was doing.
In this video, he was fixated on identifying and acquiring human beings to shoot.
Lamoureux also noted that Alissa, he believes, concealed himself as the first officer, Eric Talley, arrived and then shot and killed Talley. Lamoureux believing that's because Alissa well understood police were coming to stop him. What has not come out in this trial is a why behind these shootings. We may never get it. Jurors will be off tomorrow. Closing arguments will start on Friday, and they may begin their deliberations Friday afternoon. In Boulder, I'm Alan Janae, covering Colorado First.
Alan, we know you'll continue to cover this case for us. Thank you.